Now, do you find it hard to actually pay school fees for your kids, and sometimes you find yourself struggling, or maybe you do not have kids and you usually see people who have kids struggling to pay school fees for their kids, and not just school fees, by any other thing that a kid may need for them to be sustained in a quite of a good life. Probably when you are growing up, you had a very rough time because maybe your parents were not stable in something of sort, but you can do something. You see, let me tell you one secret. There's no way you can do the same thing that your parents did and expect a different result. Actually, they call it ignorance. On this video, I'm going to share with you exactly what you can be able to do and not only be helpful to you in terms of, taking off that a lot of load on your top of your head when you're bringing up your kids. This message will be far much better if you're about to get kids, or maybe you have small kids that you're about to educate. And again, still gonna be useful if you still have existing kids that you can take an action today and be able to do something for the sake of their lives. But before I keep on writing on my board here, I would like you to do something. And this is a favor, and it's helpful to both of us, me and you. How is it on me? It's on me that because this video will be suggested to people out there. And it's helpful on you because the moment I upload a new good video, you'll be notified. So what is its favor that I want? I want you to look below my followers there. There is a small button there written subscribe. It is in black. Hit that magical button and like this video. That's like telling me, thank you, Joseph, for this good video. Let's get into the next point. Oh, and by the way, thank you for your eyeballs. Now, the point number one that is supposed to understand is that paying school fees is not a simple thing if you've not planned yourself, but it is if you have the plan. This is what I want to tell you one thing, okay? Say you're about to get a kid and you have a pregnant wife, okay? There is something called emergency fund. There's something called emergency fund. Emergency fund is that money that you set aside. You do not know what will show up in future. You just set it aside. Just in case something shows up, that is the money you withdraw. We are not talking about the emergency fund, okay? We are talking about something called sinking fund. Sinking fund. Sinking. The difference between emergency fund and a sinking fund is when you can anticipate something will happen in a certain particular. For example, say you have a kid in grade what do we call it? Before they go to grade one, what they should, whatever that levels that they usually go. Just use this example. Say you have a pregnant wife. Biologically, after 9 months, you're expecting a kid. Then, of course, you know what comes with a kid. You go be buying diapers. You have to take care of their kids and all those kind of, plus the mother and all those kind of things. Okay, so you anticipate a cash need in some period from today. So that's what we call the sinking fund. You put it aside for this one. Now you know exactly what will happen. Now this is what I want you to do. So you can actually pick, instead of putting some, see, I know you have these different types of accounts in our banks where they tell you, oh, come, you put your money here. There's some of them call a certain name. I won't mention name for the sake of whatever. And again, some other insurance policies, they approach you, they tell you this for the education and all those kind of things. And I always tell you, see, on this channel of mine, I love giving you and opening your eyes and telling you exactly what you can be able to do. All right. Now, the point is this. For me, if you ask me, alternative, instead of going for insurance policies for education and such, how about you invest your money by yourself? How about you pick a money market fund? For example, personally, I have 3 money market funds. What if you pick like 1 money market fund, all right? Say you have like 1, 2, and 3. The one that is for you, for your purposes of your, let's say, your retirement, for the purposes of investment, for the purpose of you earning dividends in future and all those, not dividends. In money market fund, you don't earn any dividends, you earn interest rate. So for the interest of, for the purposes of interest rates and growing yourself and such kind of things. The other one is that money that you can access is anytime you want, For example, so you want to buy something, you don't disturb that what you've channeled towards your investments because we all need to grow. Perhaps maybe you want to buy something in future, you want to get into real estate or something of sort. This one is for these purposes, we call them the long-term investments, okay? And then the second one, this one is not for long-term investments, okay? And the second one here, it's about what we say, it's a money that can access anytime. You can access this money anytime, okay? Anytime. And this one, the third one here, I want you to channel some cash continuously throughout your life and call this one, how can we call it? Don't want to use the term that is quite popular out there. We can say it's a child's account. Maybe we can call it a child's account. What I mean by child's account in the sense that, hey, maybe you can decide, maybe each and every month I'll be channeling, like, let's say maybe 100 Kenyan shillings, 100 Kenyan shilling, right? Or maybe it depends on my ability. I can maybe channel 200 Kenyan shilling each and every month, or maybe each and every week, or maybe I can decide, hey, each and every month I'll be channeling like 1,000 1,000 bob. Again, depends with your capacity, all right? For example, say you are just a common individual who maybe earns daily or something. So you can decide each and every day, once I get 100 bob, I'll be channeling towards this account. And now this account, remember one thing, it's a money market fund. And maybe it's giving you like a flat rate of, let's say, 12%, okay? So meaning you're getting 1% of your returns each and every month, okay? Now the point is this, out of this 100 that you're being channeling here at the end of the month, it is earning you interest. It is earning you what? Interest. Now, anything and everything your kid will need, you'll be getting from this account. Be it either school fees, be it either their clothing, be it either their anything like, I don't want to say that one because God forbid nothing like that will ever happen, okay? So anything that kid may need from maybe the toys, maybe the enjoyment, maybe the entertainment, maybe something of so, you'll be getting from that. Such that you don't, remember one thing, these are just investment methods. These are, all of these three are actually what? The money market fund accounts. And apart from this one, obviously you have the normal bank account somewhere. You have your money resting somewhere, which you don't even disturb it. So the moment, let's say a kid maybe is going to a different level and you need to buy some uniforms, buy some books, and you need to pay some school fees and whatever, you always go to this specific account, okay? And the moment you maybe say you add another child, obviously you add the basket. Maybe if you are putting 100 bob and you had one kid, then you add another 100. You keep on pumping this. I am telling you, by the kid, for example, say you start this by the time the wife is pregnant. You can just imagine this. You have 9 months. 9 months to do what? 9 months to actually be pumping money in that account. And once the kid shows up, obviously you're not paying the school fees. You have the year 1, the year 2, and year 3. Definitely, it's like you have 4 years since you started putting that money out there. Now you tell me, even if you'd be putting 100 bob each and every day, for a whole year, 100 bob each and every day, how much is that? That is 36,000, 365, 100. That is 36,500. Multiply this number by 4. Tell me how much you'll be having there. And I've just assumed there is no interest rate. Can you imagine this money is accumulating interest each and every day? By the time you are reaching 4th year, by the time your kid is showing to a kindergarten, you already have some money here. And this money is not lying idle. You're already earning interest. So you are eating the baby money. The money that is here, you can actually go ahead and pay the school fees. You keep on pumping. By the time this kid is showing up to, let's say, in grade 1, maybe after 3 years from now, from that particular, now we are talking about the 6th year. The 6th year, the kid showed up to a grade 1. So how much will you be having? So whatever the number that you get from this multiplication, let's call it x. Now it will be x times 3. That's your 6th year. Higher. By the time this kid is showing up to a junior secondary, the next 6 years, now let's say this number is y. So it will be y times 6. Bro, let me tell you one secret. By the time the kid goes up to the junior secondary, senior secondary, by the time kid goes to a university, I am telling you, you'll be having a lot of money. You won't even be struggling and calling for seminars to, or maybe harambes. Harambes in Kenya means like coming together, help me pay the school fees and something also. That's quite a popular thing in Africa. So anyway, we can be able to do something all the way and actually I've given you a very small thing, like 100 bob. Even if you cannot be able to do 100 bob, how about you do 50 shillings? Well, you may not have a money market fund that can accept 50 shillings, but what if we have the ones that can accept 100 bob? How about you keep the today's 50 and tomorrow's 50 you deposit? Today's 50, tomorrow's 50 you deposit. Guess what will happen? We're actually going to solve a lot of problems for you. And by the time you realize, bro, sister, you're gonna be in a situation whereby you're not struggling for the basic needs. And by the way, guess what? That amount of money that you're channeling towards that specific place, obviously these are the disclaimers and these are the things that I can warn you not to do it. Never tell your kid that they have an account somewhere and usually put some money out there. Never tell them, but educate them on the principles of money financial management. Tell them on how they're supposed to save. For example, here, whenever you give, and I do not know why we Africans do not even teach our kids about these things, but not all of us. Some of us do so. Okay, the moment you give a kid some few coins, like you give them like a 20 shilling, you're not supposed to just give them and forget about it. Trail and follow what exactly they do. Okay, even the Bible tells us, teach your kid certain things and never embark from them or get off from them once they grow up. Show them something called the financial management. You already know very well. And I wonder, why do you even operate on ignorance? You know very well the financial literacy is not offered in schools. Be it all the way from kindergarten to tertiary education. It's not there. It's not provided. You never got it. And now you just want to do the same things. And that is ignorant. Why don't you teach? And I always tell people, it's good to attach value to any cash that you're giving to a kid. When you make it look like whenever they ask you for money, you just dish it out and give them. You just take it and give them. You actually sort of program them. It's just a matter of getting to the pocket and giving them. The moment they become adults, you start rubbing shoulders with them. The guy is hitting 30 years, has never gotten out of the house. But the moment you tell them, hey, you can do 1, 2, 3, then now you qualify to get this amount of money. And by the way, once you qualify for this money, you don't devour everything. Hey, guess what? You can give them some sort of like 3 cans, This can is for the savings, this can is for this and this, and this can is for this. Now, what happens? I've given you 20 shillings. Now, what you can be able to do, you can get the change. So instead of giving them a combined 20 shillings, get the 555 4 times, and then tell them, hey, guess what? I've given you the 20 shillings. You don't have to eat all of it. What you do today, you can eat 5. All right, tomorrow you can do this, and then the remaining one you can save it, you can invest it. What is to invest? To invest, when you take this money and you put it somewhere where it gives birth to a few things. For example, you can invest on me. For example, loan me this money, and then I'll take this money and I go work for it, and then I'll be able to give you some interest. And therefore, when she gives you or he gives you the 10 shillings, you go get some 1 shilling coin, and then you tell them, you see, now you did loan me this amount of money in a certain period of time. It has given birth to 1 shilling to 2 shillings. So try to sell that concept to them. They understand, hey, guess what? So it means that if I don't need all my money and put it there, that this one can actually do. That is exactly what you do. It is not complicated. But now the problem with you is that the parents of nowadays, you are so busy for your kids. The nannies are the ones who are having the kids. I can just imagine what. I don't want to get there. This may actually turn to be a very controversial topic, but the point is, for those who will hear, just do something. I know this message is not for everyone, yeah? But those who will get the message, what I'm trying to say, it's good to make sure that you inculcate the culture of savings in your kids. And also, you can only do this by also having remember one thing, kids are the mirrors of ourselves. Kids, they just mirror who we are. Whenever they start talking, they speak our language. Whatever we do, they do our things. It is true. If they got us walking with our hands, definitely they will be walking with our hands. It is true. If you take a kid of a human being and you take them be raised by animals, probably they're going to be walking. I mean, seriously, these are tested things and here and there. Anyway, but the point is, should be, you are supposed to inculcate that character that you know is appropriate. For example, I was called by a certain lady, and she told me her son, her son is quite of an amazing individual, because as young as she is, he is actually buying some things and trying to sell in the estate where they live. And sometimes he feels like sort of ashamed whenever this kid is selling some few things to fellow kids and even to adults and something goes on. And I say, do not suppress that character. That is the character that ought to have for you to become one of the greatest lives. For example, I was watching this great guy from the US called Mark Cuban, when he was explaining how he actually got wealth. He said he was selling those, I don't know, dust wrapping paper bags or something of sort, like he could knock into people's doors and tell them, like, you go watch that specific video and you can just imagine where that guy is. He's one of the wealthiest Americans, not even Americans, in the world today. He's a very great guy. I love him. So go check him out, okay? Now, the point is this, it's good to make sure that at least you plan for yourself. And the moment you embark on planning for the kids, therefore, you can actually inculcate this culture into them. And I repeat, but if the kids maybe graduates and there is still money in the account, what do? You can decide to give them, provided if you see the kid has the brain set. If you see and you realize that the kids actually understand what is to save, what is to invest, and all those kind of things, you can actually go ahead and have a seat and talk to them. Or maybe you can actually go ahead and empty the coffers and maybe give them money to invest. But if you realize it otherwise, yes, definitely, you know what that means, okay? Just eat the money. Yeah, after all, it's all your money, all right? So anyway, it is what it is. But anyway, the point is this, make sure that at least you do something for the sake of your kids. And once you inculcate that character, you ain't gonna be struggling raising up your kids. For now, it's a goodbye, but don't forget, you can give that call of me, or rather you can grab that number of mine and shoot me a call or an email, and let's talk about businesses. For now, it's a goodbye. See you in the next one.